How's it, everybody? Link here. We're back for another Dokkan Battle video. In today's video, we are doing a full GT Bosses challenge of the Special Battle 2025. And the reason we're doing this is because there are so many sub-easy A's and super easy A's for the GT Bosses team. Rather than doing like 8 separate videos, I figured it was best for you to just really see them in action. So we're going to take down each special battle boss with this team. Now, honestly, the Rose fight is probably my favorite fight of the 4 with this team, because this team completely it just neuters Rose. And you can see what I mean here. Notice how we are attacking Rose here first. We are going to eat this super with Omega here. It's probably going to do a bit of damage, but that's okay, right? 400k, because guess what? As long as we can make it through the next couple of... Look at that. We're kicking it off with 70 million this turn. Like, with the support that we're getting, the domain, everything. I mean, this is beautiful. So not only are we going to cancel an attack on both Zamasu and Rose, Omega is now going to begin attack lowering Rose. And there we go. We just canceled the 2 attacks. And here comes the super on Rose, which we should tank post super here. Double digits, yes, nice. So, I mean, in theory, we could have stuck Sin there in slot 1. Like, that's how good he is, right? Sin has essentially 80% damage reduction this turn, combined with the Omega, and then plus the support he's getting from the LR Shadow Dragons. This is just like, look at what he is doing here to Rose. Right, we took out nearly half of Rose's health with just those 2 characters, and then he double-digit tanks it. And then now the Shadow Dragon's doing the same thing, right? We get that lower attack. Here we go, look at that. And then nice, we get a little dodge from the Goku Black there. Takes a little bit on the AoE, but otherwise not bad. Remember, the Shadow Dragons do not get a defense raise on their super attack buff, but still not bad. Now, this could be a problem, because yeah, STR. Oh, okay, never mind. No. Because it's just Zamasu's heal. All right, so Omega is going to be fine in slot 1. Obviously, you would prefer to have him slot. You would prefer him slot. Slot 3 for his full buffs, but we got to do what we got to do. We got to deal with locking the way we deal with locking. It's still pretty good, even though he's in slot 1. Look at that. And then again, more attack lowering, more defense lowering. Now, we do put Nova in slot 2 for obvious reasons, right? 1, to build up more attack lowering, but 2, obviously the AoE, after building up Rose a little bit, would be quite dangerous for him. And so we do want to make sure that we don't let him take that AoE pre-super, because post-super he should survive with the attack lowering that we're doing now. Look at that, 60 million on a free-to-play unit. Jeez, what is that? And the great thing is, Rose and Zamasu haven't supered yet. We're gonna get that. Ah, man, wish we. So if we actually got those last 2 supers, we would have killed Rose right here with Nova on turn 2. Now we do tank the AoE, very nice. Now Rose and Zamasu haven't supered, and both of them do a Ki Blast supers, which means Nova can nullify it, which is beautiful. Look, here we go. All right, so we're gonna see this. We're gonna watch Nova just straight up cancel this super. Boom, 0 damage. Beautiful. And that does mean more than likely the super is here on Goku Black, but since we are using Omega's AoE, not only are we going to kill Goku Black here, we do cancel Zamasu's attack, so perfect. And now we get a little bit of defense already. Can you believe that? Can you believe that? We 2 turns Rose, and he barely did a thing to us. That 1 initial super on Omega was all he got. Now, we'll use this Omega's active skill to go ahead and cancel that first action there in case it decides it wants to be a super. Now, again, of course, the main issue with attacking Rose first is now we have to deal with a Zamasu we have to deal with a Zamasu that can still lock us. And that's, of course, what happened to Sen getting locked off here. All right, beautiful. 30. So not as much here on the second one, but that's on the second round. But that's obviously because we don't have our links here. But we're still going to get the debuffs. And what's crazy here is 2023 AGL Omega being on the team. Of course, main reason he's here is because, one, he gives us a revive, which is great for this fight. And two, the debuffs that he allows, right? With Omega's damage reduction up and his own damage reduction via Rainbow Key Spheres, he is essentially unbeatable. Watch this. Watch this. Oh, okay, we dodged. All right. Well, I shouldn't say unbeatable, but like for a 2023 unit, he's taking damage pretty darn well. Unfortunately, we did not. I mean, I think we would have revived there, right? Is our revive? No, the revive isn't up, so we actually no, we wouldn't have revived if we died there. But I mean, we dodged it, so it worked out. There we go. All right, so turn 4 here. I actually had a run earlier with this setup where we actually we attacked Zamasu first and we killed him in 1 turn. But then we died to Goku Black Super in slot 1. But I mean, that's that's besides the point. Okay, here we go. All right, so LR Nova doing 47 mil on that attack there. Jeez. And then okay, so let's put that. So this is nice. This will prevent Zamasu from healing thanks to that action cancel. And then we'll put Nova in slot 3 there. Perfect. So again, just the amount. Now, of course, we can't lower Zamasu's attack, but lowering his defense just means that these units can kill quicker, which is, there we go. Look at that. Okay. LR Shadow Dragons get to eat a Zamasu super here, so that's nice. With their damage reduction and type advantage, they tank it for double digits. Very good. And then Omega with his 57 million. Love how he's still doing damage even when he's not in slot 3. So there you go. There's Rose and Zamasu down. We took down Rose first. There are very few teams that can take down Rose first, but the GT Bosses team can handle it. And like I said, we went with this approach so as to kind of, oh wow, we actually got a new record here for the Rose fight. That's awesome. Okay, so we went with this approach mostly to show you guys, right, all of these different units in effect, right, in one of the hardest fights in the game, because I think that's really the only way to kind of show a lot of these sub-EZA units, right? I could sit there and do like a regular showcase for them, and you'll get an idea of what they're doing, but I feel like just going straight into seeing them in action, at least in this case, because there's so many of them, is probably more beneficial to all. And hey, you know, we love the challenge of doing full GT bosses. So we're actually going to pause the video, and we're going to come back. We're going to take down Stage 2 against the Blue Goku and Vegeta. Alrighty, so we are here. We are against Blue Goku and Vegeta, and I actually think that this fight is one of the harder fights for them. Like as we saw in part 1 here, the Vegeta the Omega team just straight up murders Rose, but here we're having some problem because of that guaranteed super from Vegeta in slot 1. That's going to cause a lot of problems for the GT Bosses team. However, we do have a good turn 1 setup here where both attacks from Goku and Vegeta are in slot 1, and if I were a betting man, I would say both of those are supers. And since both Goku and Vegeta do Ki Blast supers, I'm thinking we can risk it and we can put Nova in slot 1. If we put Nova in slot 1, if I'm correct and both of those are supers, if I'm correct and both of those are supers, we're golden this turn, right? We have an easy shot here. But if I'm wrong, we're dying to a normal from Goku. So this is a tough call, but I think we're gonna risk it. We're gonna risk it because the reward is great here if we do it. There we go. And then there we go. We get the 8 with Sen. So this is actually going to be a pretty good turn if we do it. There we go. It is the Goku Super, which means we should nullify it. Yep. 0 damage on that beautiful nullification. And then we get we should get it again here with Nova. Perfect. And 44 million on our opening turn. Very, very nice. So this should be significantly net. So once we got past this turn 1, we should actually be all right for the rest of this fight. It's literally just kind of this really turn 1 when we don't have both Omegas set up with their damage reduction. So there we go. Look at that. Beautiful. Oh my goodness. Are we about to take out Vegeta on turn 1? It looks like we might. It looks like we might. We might actually take out Vegeta on turn 1. The Sen still has to attack. There we go. There goes the super from Goku. Alright, Omega should tank this. Yep, 54,000. Perfect. And I think that did in... Oh no, this one should do in Vegeta here. Beautiful. And now we can just start laying the hurt onto Goku. And it's only turn 2. Okay, now Goku can double super, so that is something we have to contend with. Alright, but looks like most of them are in... Okay. Alright. Let's see here. Okay, let's do that. Grab this with Omega, and then we'll send off STR Omega. So we are taking a big risk here because it's very likely that there is a super in slot 3 there against STR Omega, but I do think this is the right call because, of course, we can't put int Shadow Dragon. Look at that, 75 million. Jeez, we can't put the int Shadow Dragons obviously in front of these supers. They will die, but hopefully we can take him out before this becomes a problem. We do get the triple super. Excellent. And Omega does tank it. Very nice. Okay, so now the trick. No links active. Can STR Omega tank this super? I don't think we're going to kill because we don't have any links active, so we're significantly weaker than we would normally be. Get an additional super. Very nice. And another one for 42 million. And there goes the super. Alright, moment of truth. Can we live this second super here from Goku with STR Omega? Oh, we can. Double digits. Very nice. Okay, and then now we should be able to use Nova's active skill once more. Did that kill? 70 mil? Did that kill? Oh, we did 70 mil. No, it didn't. Okay. Well, that's unfortunate. Okay, well, we'll let Fizz Omega attack first here in slot 1. Get an additional, we'll get the additional key spheres with him, and then we'll send off the AGL Omega. Let's see here. There you go. One more down, 2 more to go. Like I said, I do feel like because of the way turn 1 is set up here and, you know, GT Boss's sort of pseudo slot 1s that it has throughout most of this, I feel like this is the hardest fight of the 4 for them because they can't really take advantage of their debuffs here. But I mean, once you get past that turn 1, you can get both Omegas set up, Fizz Omegas, it works a lot better. As you can see here, we had no problem, even with the STR Omega taking double-digit tanking a built-up super from Goku. So that was pretty good there. So Stage 2 down against the Goku and Vegeta. We're going to pause the video. We're going to come back against Stage 3 against the Omega Shenron. Alrighty, we are loaded up here in Stage 3. We are against the Omega Shenron. This one shouldn't be too bad. I think we can cancel Omega Super with our own Fizz Omega. Let's actually double check that, because I think we can, which means we can put Fizz Omega in slot 1 and be relatively safe here. Now it doesn't really matter if we do the domain. Well, it does matter because his domain is buffing himself, whereas if we use our domain, it will buff both of us, so at least we'll be on a level playing field. So we'll go ahead and do that. Okay, actually, no, we cannot cancel the super here. It is an unclassified super, so we will have to deal with Fizz Omega being... We will have to deal with him taking supers in slot 1. Yeah, there we go. So we do get stunned, but we do take double digits there, so that's nice. Alrighty. Oof. A little bit too much on the Nova there for the second one, but I mean, you know, he's free to play. I'm not going to hold that one too much against him. Very nice. I am curious if the LR Shadow Dragons here can tank post super here, especially type disadvantage. Okay, double digits, very nice. And Nova with that 50 million. Love it. Are we getting an additional... Nope, that's not a super. There we go. Additional super out of Nova. Okay, so we put a little bit of damage on. Not as much... not as much as I wanted this turn, but still pretty good. I mean, the Omega obviously has a little more HP than Rose, since it's just one than Rose and Goku, but I was expecting a little more HP to be dealt here. Okay, so let's have our Omega attack, or the friend Omega attack in slot 1. There we go. Alright, we're going to get 8 Key Spheres with the Tech Send, and then let's try to set up the Rainbow Key Spheres. 3, 3, 3. Okay, wow, we were actually better off grabbing the other ones with Tech Send. Okay. So we should be able to tank the AoE here with AGL Omega, but we are definitely moving a little slower on this team than I was hoping compared to the other fights. Alright, now Sin has been our go-to for putting out damage here these last couple runs, so hopefully he can help us out here and put in a little more work. There we go. And then 10 million on the AGL Omega. Now he's not going to be doing too much damage here. He is here strictly for those well, he can't debuff here, so he's really literally just tanking here. And he's doing it quite well, right? That's pretty impressive for a unit as old as he is to be taking these hits. Very good. Okay, so how are we looking here? Who's getting locked where? Oh, wow. Okay. Oh, that's tough. Okay, our Fizz Omega is locked in slot 2, which means we don't have any coverage for slot 1. Huh. How do we... Oh, that's tough. Okay. I think we're gonna have to... Yeah. No. Okay, let's do it. Let's put STR Omega in slot 1. Maybe we can tank here with the support and the extra damage reduction we're getting from both Fizz Omegas. Okay, moment of truth. Can we live this super? We do for 300k. Okay, and then 75 million on the Fizz Omega. Ooh, okay, here comes the AoE. Alright, but looks like everyone tanked it quite well. Alright, so now it's just a matter of tanking the normals here in slot 3 with the Shadow Dragons, which I think if we can take the AoE, we're probably fine here. Alright, and there we go, the second AoE, okay. Alright, and everybody does tank it for double digits. So moving a little slower on this fight than some other fights, but it is working out for us. Let's see here. Alright, so first off, let's go ahead and let's do that number. Alrighty, so now we get the buff for our GT bosses here through the domain. Of course, the enemy Sen is, the enemy Omega is getting buffed as well, but I think we can manage, honestly. Are we getting 6? 6 is the best we get. That's alright. We don't need the 7 with Sen because he just does. Oh, here comes another super. We don't need it because there we go. Yeah, Omega can't be debuffed, so getting the 7th key sphere really isn't that big of a deal here. There we go. Additional. Okay, what is with us in normals here with the Nova? Okay, and we are double-digit tanking. Perfect. Oh, we get a dodge out of the friend here. Very nice. Okay, and now Sen's going to go ahead and wrap it up. Now, of course, he doesn't have any links here. Well, okay, he does have links, but he doesn't have big bad bosses here because we're linked with Nova in the second slot. Go, we get an additional super. Nope, that's a normal. Okay. Alright, who are we locking? We locked AGL Omega in slot 1. I don't think we're below. Yeah, we're not below to get the revive either. So we need to hope that he can tank here in slot 1 then. So this is going to be a big risk. Or that we get his hidden potential dodge. That's going to be the risk here. So we're going to grab 4 key spheres here. Alright, let's grab that. And then we'll send SCR Omega off with this. Hopefully that helps. There goes 1. There goes 2. Oh, nice. We get the dodge. Okay, and we do not dodge. Oh, wow. AGL Omega took 180k there. That's pretty impressive. Excellent. And then now 29 million on our Omega. Very nice. And now we get 32 million out of the Omega here. 34 million on the second super. Excellent. One more. And then, of course, we know we don't have to worry about supers here because he's always going to super in slot 1. Oh, look at him keep going. Nice. We get a little dodge here, too. Alright, so no revive ready for the next rotation, but that's okay. Alright. Okay, so Shadow Dragons are locked in slot 1, but fortunately for us, we have the Nova active skill. We get 53 million on it. So with the active skill here, we do get the action cancel, which means that the LR Shadow Dragons get a they get some protection there from that slot 1. There we go. And boom, look at that. Okay, and now it's LR Omega's turn. 59 million, not bad. Oh, are we going to get an additional? There we go. 35 million. Okay, not quite enough to take him down, but now 45 million on the LR Nova. One, and his additional super should do the trick. Beautiful. All right, stage 3 done against the Omega Shenron with our full GT bosses run. Again, we're doing this to just kind of share with you guys just how good these sub EZAs are for the GT bosses team. Almost everyone we're using here falls into that category for the sub EZAs, so figured this was the best way to really push them, really show what they're capable of in these difficult fights. So with that in mind, we're going to go ahead and pause the video, and we're going to come back in the final stage against Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. Alrighty, so we are here against the final fight against Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. Now, this one, like the other Superclass stage, is going to be really hard for this team because we're constantly having to deal with double supers. And now, while this is scripted, so to speak, you still can't predict sometimes when he's going to super in slot 1. So we have to make sure we find a way to get that covered. Now, Gogeta does Ki Blast supers, so the only real one who can counter his super here on this team is Nova. Okay, so let's do that, and then we'll send off the other Fizz Omega. So we do have our double support up turn 1, which is not bad now with the way the events are, the way the attacks are set up here. It's likely he's going to super in slot 2 or 3, so that means both of our Gogetas should cancel the attacks. All right, excellent. All right, here we go. Alright, so it's literally just kind of figuring out a plan to survive each of Gogeta's supers as they get significantly stronger with each turn that passes and each time he does super. There we go. Alright, and here comes the super. Excellent. And we get the action cancel. So worked out nicely for the third slot here, canceling that Gogeta super. And we get another super there. Perfect. Yeah, we don't want the LR Shadow Dragons in front of those supers, so kind of worked out. Although I think our next turn might be a little exposed. Let's see. Okay, so I'm assuming that this is still the same attack pattern, and we should expect the supers in slots 2 and 3. So let's grab that with AGL Omega in our slot 1. We're gonna grab that, and then that with Nova. Perfect. Right, nice little dodges there, and I love how he's basically just tanking these attacks despite being 2 years old. Okay, so we did put STR Omega here against the first super because it will be less strong than the second super, obviously, but it's still going to be strong. I am worried that it might not be strong enough for we might not be strong enough here to survive this. Okay. Nice. Okay, so we actually really lucked out here because we did dodge the super there. And Oh, come on, normal. I'm gonna call them normals. Jeez. Bunch of normals. We didn't need that. And we get the nullification on Nova. And so now, what are we? Turn 3 here? Ooh, okay, we have not done enough damage here. Okay, so I'm gonna take, let's see here. I think the play here is, because we're on the 90% damage reduction turn, I think the play here is get the 7 with Sen. There we go. Oh, wow, that is a lot of damage. Okay, but we do live. Perfect. Now, hopefully we can live post-super. Yeah, so we're going to let Sen attack first, and then we get a guaranteed nullification by Omega in the 3rd slot, because his action cancel will get rid of that 2nd super. Okay, it is enough to tank post-super. Alright, so big risk, but the reward is here, because now Sen can kind of kick it off with 43 million and lay in a bunch of damage to Gogeta, since he has type advantage. Excellent. We get another super. There we go. 49 mil. Alrighty. And let's see. Okay, here comes the 2nd super. Look at that. 70 million on Omega. Perfect. And then, geez. Love that 90% damage reduction turn with Sen, right? The fact that we survived turn 3 Gogeta super is really good. And then, of course, Omega here is just going to straight up cancel that super for us, so we don't have to worry about anything. Now, we do get the 2nd, we do get the 2nd domain here this turn, so let's go ahead and pop that. And now, let's see here. Okay. Let's see. Excellent. We'll grab that with HL Omega. So we do have HL Omega's revive. So let's see if we can actually get it to proc. Gogeta Super in slot 1 this time. That's not good. Because we didn't cancel. Well, I guess we did cancel his actions. Maybe that's what messed it up. Oh, okay. Wow, that killed us. Like, outright killed us. So. Alrighty, perfect. So we actually got the HL Omega revive here by chance. Alright, but now things are a little tricky. Because if he super slot 1, I think we die. But we do have Omega's attack here, which can cancel an attack. Ooh, okay. Oh, that's tough. Alright, well, let's go ahead and let's activate the skill here. 51 million. It's not quite as good as the last time, but it's still, I mean, still pretty good. Okay, so we're gonna have to hope that the action we canceled there is a super in slot 1. We're gonna get 8 key spheres with Sen, and so since we have the 8, he is fully maxed out. And then we'll grab that. And perfect. We'll send off Nova. Alright, so it's just a matter of, can we kill with Sen here? Ooh, okay. Another one. There we go. Okay, okay, keep it going, keep it going. We almost got this. Perfect. Oh, what? He lived. Oh my goodness. Okay, and here comes the super on the 2nd turn. Think we can handle this? There we go. Alright, so LR Shadow Dragons actually get to finish the fight this time. And there it goes. Very lucky, but we did manage to complete it. So there is the GT Bosses team, full GT Bosses, each run against every stage of the Special Battle 2025. Gotta say that I'm significantly more impressed with this team than I am with Gogeta. It's not that I don't love a good GT Heroes team. This GT Bosses team went from an absolute 0 to one of the better teams in the game. And the best part is half the team doesn't even link that well together. And yet here they are dominating the Special Battle 2025. So guys, that's it for the video. If you like the video, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you have not already, and in the comments down below let us know, what do you think of the Shadow Dragons as a possible contender for the number 1 to number 3 slot for best teams in the game? I feel like they are inching ever closer to that title, being able to be one of the few teams that can consistently knock out every single fight in this event. So guys, that's it for the video. If you like the video, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you have not already. And if nothing else, thanks for watching, and aloha.